Let's keep it real, okay? Have you ever found yourself in a relentless loop of always dwelling on how things are gonna happen in your life, always wondering where that next check is gonna come from, where you're gonna find that new romantic partner, always wondering, like, how is it gonna happen? What if I told you that that level of overthinking is actually hindering the process and it's not helping you at all whatsoever? In today's video, we're gonna be diving deep into the transformative power of trust, faith, letting go, and understanding that everything will unfold the way that it should if you let it. So make sure you stick around to the end of this video, because I think there's a good chance that this video will be the key to unlocking the door that you've been knocking on for however long. You won't want to miss a second of this video. Think about it. When you plant a seed and you nurture that seed to grow into a tree, whoever is nurturing that seed is not obsessing over how and when that tree will grow into its fullest potential. Their only concern is to nurture it consistently, believe that if they take all the right steps, everything will work out exactly how it's supposed to, and it will bloom into its fullest potential. Can you imagine if someone's approach to nurturing a seed was watching it every minute of the day? Like, yo, how's it gonna happen? Is it growing yet? Is it gonna be here tomorrow? What about next week? No, that's not the approach that you would want to take if you're planting a seed, whether it's like you're gardening or whatever it is. Like, it's like, no, you have to understand how to let go and just trust that everything is going to unfold in the way that it's supposed to, right? Faith is the bridge between the present and the future. And by having faith, we're essentially affirming our beliefs that we will be fulfilled with our desires through faith, right? So now let's really break this down, okay? Because I think this is something that is relevant in the lives of a lot of people, okay? The illusion of control. When we dwell on the how and how things are going to be, put together, how things are going to unfold, and we try and prepare ourselves for, how it's going to happen based on what we see in our imaginations. It's almost like this subconscious belief that dwelling on the how is going to give us like more control. When in actuality, that is completely false. That is completely wrong. That's the furthest thing from the truth, man. That doesn't give us more control, and we know this. If we really look at it for what it is, when we obsess over the how, it's actually communicating our lack of trust in the process, lack of trust in, whatever you believe in. I like to say the universe, you know what I'm saying? You might say God or, Jesus, like, whatever it is that you believe in. I say the universe, okay? So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna be saying the universe. But when we try and control everything, when we think that, it's completely like on us as far as, how things reveal themselves, that really communicates a lot of self-doubt, a lot of doubt within the process, a lot of doubt within the universe. So we really have to understand the power of detachment, how we can do that, and being self-aware and picking up on those moments where we do get a little more attached to our desires and our outcomes that we want for our lives, and consciously, taking a step back and then reminding ourselves that, like, that's not my business, man. Like, the universe got it. I'm gonna leave it to the universe. I'm gonna just focus on what I can actually control, which is my beliefs and my attitude. So I'm gonna have a positive, uplifting attitude about it and just remain hopeful and faithful that everything's gonna work out the way that it's supposed to. So for those of you that haven't watched any of my videos before, by now, some of y'all may or may not know, I do study a lot of Neville Goddard's work just because I find it immensely powerful. It has helped me transform my perspective quite drastically in a short amount of time. So I constantly study a lot of his work. And if you haven't checked out any of his work thus far, I highly encourage you to check some of it out. But Neville has this one quote that goes, "Faith is loyalty to the unseen reality within." And that quote actually came from one of his books called Your Faith is Your Fortune. Y'all should definitely check that out. So I'm gonna ask y'all this, right? Like, what does that quote mean to you, right? Because I'll give my 2 cents on it, okay? It really is just about maintaining loyalty to the vision, even when the path is obscure. So even though your external world may not be showing you what it is that you want to be seeing, at that point in time, you are demonstrating a very strong sense of loyalty to that vision, commitment to that vision, that everything is going to work out the way that it's supposed to. And if you truly believe that within yourself, bro, you're chilling. You're chilling. So that there's no reason to try and grasp onto these goals like it's life or death. You get what I'm saying? So the illusion of control is definitely something that we all need to detach from, because it's not helping the process, it's hindering it. So get rid of that, detach from it, man. And I know it's easier said than done, but it just requires repetition and self-awareness. Because when you are becoming a lot more attached to your goals, you can feel it within your body, right? There's your body language will change. You might start to tense up a bit. You might start to feel a little more anxious, right? So it's in those moments where you bring yourself back, you get what I'm saying? And get back to this state of trust. What does that feel like to you? What does it feel like to feel financially free? What does freedom feel like? What does security feel like, right? What does it feel like to be in a happy romantic relationship? What does it feel like to be healthier than you've ever been? To have a higher level of energy than you ever had before? Those are the times where you get back to it. Instead of like trying to control everything subconsciously, get rid of that illusion, thinking that like if you keep dwelling on how it's gonna happen, like you essentially think that you're gonna accelerate the process. No, that's completely false, right? Get back to the state of trust. So I really would love to share a quick like personal story as far as like how this concept is relevant and has been relevant in my own life, and why I'm going to continue to demonstrate this mindset of trust and faith, because it has shown me some amazing things thus far in my life, which is why I'm going to continue to practice them. So again, for those of you that don't know me, maybe new to the channel, or maybe even some of y'all that see my videos before but don't know too much about me personally, I'm in a relationship with my girl. Her name's Ellie Jane. You know, we've been together for well over 5 years now. She's actually a YouTuber herself, so she puts out a lot of content. She's been putting out content even longer than I have. She's my business partner as well. So yeah, shout out Ellie Jane. Y'all know what it is. But yeah, like people often ask us, you know, like how did y'all get together? Like how is y'all relationship like this healthy? You guys seem like you guys have a very strong connection. You guys seem like you guys have a very solid foundation, a very strong friendship. And if you tune into some of our videos, I don't know, y'all give me y'all thoughts. Y'all may agree, may disagree, I don't know. We like to think that we have a very strong connection, a very strong relationship. But again, it's not something that's just that way, because like we do put in a lot of work into our relationship. But as far as, you know, how we even met, how it all came together, like how did it happen, right? We get asked that all the time, and I always tell people it's so funny, right? I was in this state of like complete detachment during that period of our lives. So I was very focused on myself. At the time I was in school, you know, I was focused on running 2 businesses at a time. So I was like drop shipping, and I was also reselling sneakers. So I was very locked in on those businesses. I was focused on myself, like going to the gym, just getting my health like where it needed to be. And I always just knew, like, you know, people would ask me like, yo, like, you talking to any girls right now? Yo, you spend a lot of time to yourself. Like, are you gonna be in a relationship anytime soon? I'd be like, bro, like, I'm not tripping about that. I'm not worried about that, because I have a full sense of trust that the right person will come along when the time is right. Isn't that crazy? Like, I was so detached from it naturally. So I wasn't in this state of like searching for the right person. I left that completely up to the universe. I was like, yo, whenever that time comes, I'm all for it. I'm ready. I'm cool. But yeah, like I ain't tripping. Like I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And then it was funny because when we had first met, we both like felt like there was something there. Like we both felt something. There was like, okay, there's some synergy between the two of us, but like, what do we do with this? Because at that time I was like, bro, I'm focused on me. You know what I mean? Like I was like, yo, I'm focused on business right now. I'm like getting my health right. But that connection was too strong for me to ignore. I didn't think this was my time, you know, to get into like a serious relationship or whatever, but the universe thought otherwise. So I'm like, okay, there's something here. Like I said, we're feeling some synergy. I don't think this is something that I can just like ignore, because I do feel as though like if this were to be something that we explore together, like there could be a lot of good that comes out of it. So I was willing to explore it, and you know, we did, and it turns out like I would say she is my perfect match. You ask her too, I think she would tell you the same thing. But I mean, at least I would hope so. No, she would. But it's crazy, like that situation of like really tapping in with like Ellie Jane, like helped me learn a lot about my own perspective and the power of perspective, right? Like not being in this, you know, this mode of desperation, like, oh, like I need a partner, like I need a girl, bro. Like I need to be with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like, where is she? Where you at? Like, let's be honest, there's a lot of there's a lot of people, I'm not even gonna just say dudes, there's a lot of people who live in that energy, right? And that ain't it. And my relationship with Ellie Jane confirms that, you know, because I wasn't in that search mode. I was just in that state of like attraction. Right? I feel like I really, like we both like attracted one another. Like I wasn't searching for a girl, but somehow the perfect person reveals herself in my reality. So, bro, like, again, like, if y'all don't know me, man, like, I'm very, like, I really do try and, like, tap in and set time aside to tap in and reflect on, you know, circumstances within my life, and, you know, never perceive them as good or bad, but, you know, understand that they just are situations, and every situation has something to reveal to us, either about ourselves or about the world that we're living in. So I asked myself, like, dang, like, if I was able to put myself in that state of attraction and attract, like, the best person for me at that time, how can I take that lesson and translate it into other areas of my life, like health, professional relationships, like in business, and, you know, just business success in general? And that's really what it was, man. It was that state of detachment, not searching, just being and allowing, you know? And it's crazy. This shit is like, it's like magic, it felt like. So I don't believe in coincidences, so to speak, because I feel like a coincidence in itself is really just a way to kind of like fill in the blank for how we defy logic, right? If you can't logically explain something, it's coincidence. I think everything happens for a reason, of course, and I'm sure a lot of y'all do as well. And for me in my life, like, that's just proof of that. You get what I'm saying? Taking those same lessons and implementing them into other aspects of my life, like business. And that's what I've been doing thus far, and I've been, you know what I'm saying, gaining some traction. So it's like, okay, this makes sense. But of course, at the end of the day, we are human, and of course, you are not your thoughts. Always remind yourself of that. Like, if you have like some negative thoughts that are, you know, presenting themselves in your mind on that particular day for whatever reason, I mean, that's just what it is, but it's not who you are, okay? So if you're facing some thoughts in regards to like self-doubt, it's like, how do you get back to that state, right? Like, how do you do that? We're all gonna have different methods that work for us based on our own personalities and what we know about ourselves. But for me, it was, again, just going back to like my relationship with Ellie Jane, just trusting that everything is gonna work out the way that it's supposed to. And in the absolute worst case scenario, where if the universe simply did not want that for me, even though like I trusted that everything was gonna work out the way that it was supposed to, and it still doesn't present itself, being okay with that. And again, I know that might sound like a little contradicting, but if you really take a second to understand like what I'm saying, it's really just reaching a new level of detachment, right? Being okay with, okay, if you don't want to bring me that person, or you don't want to bring me that professional relationship or business success that I'm seeking, I'm doing all the internal work. I know within myself that I've given my best efforts to trust in the universe, have faith that everything's going to work out. I'm putting in work on myself every day to be the best person that I can be, that is, you know, worthy of being with this dream partner that I have in my mind, or, you know, experiencing the amount of money that, you know, my business will generate. I know that I'm putting in that effort to be that person every day, and it still doesn't manifest. I'm content. That is like a new level of like detachment and trust, where it's like, I know I'm doing all the right things. I'm taking all the right actions. I'm practicing all the right attitudes. Therefore, I'm focusing solely on what I can control and nothing more. I'm cool. That was literally the mindset I was in, and it worked. So why wouldn't I continue to practice this mindset across other areas of my life? You get what I mean? So now, like, let's really get into the practical steps, okay? How can you not get so tangled in the how? First, clarity, okay? You must first clearly, very, very, very clearly define what your desire is, what it looks like, and what it feels like, okay? Now, immerse yourself completely in that feeling of everything being accomplished. Feel it. Like, what does it feel like in your bones, bro? Like, what does it feel like in your body? What does it feel like in your mind, your spirit, your heart? Feel it in every fiber of your being. Feel it. Now, let go. Just let go. Now live life and focus on what it is that you can control, as I alluded to earlier in the video. One of the last key points I definitely want to touch on before signing off is the importance of energy and not the how. We don't need to know how it's going to happen, when it's going to happen, you know, what situation is going to connect to our desire, where, like, how it's all going to manifest. Like, we don't need to know any of that. But I feel like a lot of people hold on to that very tightly because of their lack of understanding and their lack of trust as far as, you know, how this reality works. You get what I mean? There's also another book that I've read that I would highly encourage y'all to check out as well. It's a book called Letting Go by David Hawkins. So that book helped me a lot as well. But again, like, a lot of the things in my life, a lot of the good things in my life that I was able to bring in, I was able to do so unconsciously. So once I started to tap in more into the conscious side of things, where it's like, okay, I want to, start creating my life with a conscious effort. That's where Letting Go by David Hawkins really helped out a lot. So with that, my people, we're gonna be wrapping up this video. If you made it this far, much love to you. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these concepts are a lot simpler than we make them out to be. It's just a matter of energy and attitude, man. Like, what type of energy are you putting into your goals? Just, again, like, one of the few things that we can't control is our perception. So not taking that for granted, right? Just believing that all will work out, everything will fall into place, but you have to genuinely, to the core, believe that. And if you do, your actions will follow, your thoughts will follow, and it'll become a lot more natural. So if you are new here, do consider subscribing to the channel and drop a like on the video. You already know what that does. That does support me in ways that you may not be aware of, but yeah, dropping likes on the video definitely helps a lot with the algorithm, and just helps other like-minded people reach this type of content and hopefully help them out as well. So yeah, man, much love to you all. I'll be seeing you on the next video, and we will be ending this video on a quote from Neville Goddard that goes, "Doubt is the only force capable of disturbing the seed of the imagined effect." This is from Neville Goddard from The Law and the Promise. I will see y'all in the next video, my people. Much love to you. It is your boy KT. I'm out, man.